Our second presenter this morning is Abigail Kohler, whose talk is titled From Wizard Wheezes to Etsy Empires, an exploration of fandom and entrepreneurship.
For-profit companies are all over the wizarding world. These bustling businesses, from the Leaky Cauldron to Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, offer more than just goods. They serve as portals to independence, joy, and freedom for the characters. These businesses all exhibit some fascinating irregularities. Despite this, the businesses started by fans often mirror those within the series, abnormalities and all. By examining the entrepreneurial spirit of fans who transform their love for Harry Potter into thriving ventures on platforms like Etsy, my presentation today reveals how creativity and community engagement can turn passion into profitable enterprises, reflecting the businesses and innovative drives seen in the series and offering a gateway to economic security. The business landscape in the wizarding world is confounding, to say the least. By my count, there are precisely 28 for-profit enterprises explicitly named or described in the books. I can give you the full list that I've compiled after my talk if any of you are interested. These businesses can be further categorized based on what they offer and the functions they serve for the characters. All business offerings in the world and in fiction in general fit into one of two categories. They're either products or they're services. Product businesses provide actual, tangible goods, while service businesses provide intangible professional labor. Of the 28 businesses described in the book series, 20 are exclusively product businesses. 8 provide a mix of products and services, and not even a single one is exclusively a service business. Magic, like services, is intangible. Magic itself can't really be directly perceived through the senses. Rather, it is experienced only through its effects. Often the intangibility of services and the challenge of explaining the impact of a service dramatically impacts a business's success. But in a world where the intangible is already celebrated and taught in the form of magic, it is shocking that there's not even one business that exclusively provides services across all 7 books. There's not one broomstick repair shop, no owl groomer, and no wizard plumber. I'm glad you like that. Perhaps widespread magic education makes most services unnecessary, but given the specificity of trades like wand making, which are practiced to create goods, and the education specialization offered at Hogwarts, this seems unlikely and fails to provide a satisfactory answer to this problem. The wizarding world is still full of products, but services are inexplicably sparse. The businesses can also be examined through their offerings. In the real world, about 35% of businesses are consumer goods, and only 2.5% are restaurants. In the series, those business types represent 71% and 29% of all businesses. The 28 businesses in the series are comprised of 20 wizarding supply shops, 7 restaurants, and 1 newspaper. One might argue that since the characters within the series are consumers and would not interact with or know of business services, these may exist within the universe, but just go unnoticed by characters. While that would certainly make it reasonable for them to be mentioned less, it's still odd that they're truly absent. If there were wizard service companies, I imagine we'd hear about them as possible career paths for Hogwarts graduates, or we'd encounter adult characters working those jobs. It appears as if pure service companies and business service companies are truly absent from the wizarding world. The businesses can also be analyzed based on the roles they play in the lives of the characters. All of the businesses fit into at least one, and often more, of the following 3 categories: utility, fun, and freedom. The shops in the utility category provide necessary supplies, like Ollivanders or Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions. Businesses in the fun category provide characters with joy and relief from life's struggles, like the Three Broomsticks or Florean Fortescue's ice cream parlor. The businesses in the freedom category provide characters with greater independence and often whisk them away from non-ideal circumstances. Businesses that fit in this category include the Leaky Cauldron, which serves as the portal to Diagon Alley, and Honeydukes, which houses the secret tunnel between Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that Harry discovers on the Marauders map in The Prisoner of Azkaban. All three functions, utility, fun, and freedom, are critical for the characters. The businesses of the Harry Potter series are also unique in their portrayal of the morality of business. In many instances in modern media and modern fiction, business and wealth is often depicted as negative or perhaps an evil characteristic. In a capitalist society, it is easy to imagine how the concentration of people and power within a corporation could conduct nefarious operations. This wealth equals evil shorthand is used across many genres. Many of us are familiar with the myriad of evil, rich characters in fiction, like Tywin Lannister from Game of Thrones, Goldfinger in the Bond movies, Hans Gruber from Die Hard, Ozymandias from Watchmen, Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada, and many, many more. Even children's content, like the movie Monsters, Inc., leverages this expectation as they portray a business whose objective is to make money by harnessing the fear of children. Despite this, business and wealth in the Harry Potter world maintains a surprising moral neutrality. Business owners, businesses, and wealthy people are not portrayed in an inherently unfavorable way. Even when we do encounter evil characters with substantial sums of money, like the Malfoys, there's always a good equivalent, like the Potters. The businesses themselves exhibit this reflection. Any sinister business or business owner has a benevolent counterpart. For each business in the more threatening Nocturne Alley, there's a counterpart in Diagon Alley. I'd also argue that even though the businesses of Nocturne Alley, like Borgin and Burke's, may appear more evil, they're not inherently evil. They simply supply things that are dangerous and could be harmful only if the purchaser, not the business, has malevolent intent. This is true of many of the more lighthearted stores. Even the content of Weasley's Wizard Wheezes could potentially be dangerous, and it is up to the user to mitigate that danger. Many of us would not like to be on the receiving end of a punching telescope or a skiving snack box. It is reasonable to expect that this inherent neutrality around business and money is part of what makes Harry Potter entrepreneurship so popular. One is much less likely to pursue the for-profit sale of goods related to a series that harshly critiques business. And I think that gives fans a sense of implied permission to start their own businesses. To better understand the businesses started by Harry Potter fans, I conducted an extensive analysis of Harry Potter-inspired businesses that sell through Etsy, Goimagine, and independent e-commerce stores. I also surveyed 46 of these business owners to get a deeper understanding of their operations. The businesses I surveyed had varying levels of legality. Some were completely above board and created independent products merely inspired by the wizarding world without utilizing any explicit details from the books or the movies. Others were committing flagrant violations of copyright and trademark law. Yeah. When I asked survey participants to rate their concern about legal consequences on a scale of 1 to 5, there was a near even spread across all numbers, with the average level of concern being a 2.7 out of 5. Similar to the businesses in the books, all of the businesses I analyzed offered either exclusively products or a mix of products and services. Not one was exclusively a service business. Interestingly, 44 out of the 46 businesses were run by women. Entrepreneurship can be very exclusionary, and women face unique challenges when starting businesses. In 2023, women received less than 2% of all venture capital funding, and just 35% of businesses receiving small business loans had at least one woman in their ownership structure. With these added challenges, I find it remarkable that the Harry Potter fandom can be a catalyst for women's success in the small business landscape. The success of women founders within this fandom is proof of the power and support of this community. I was also shocked to learn that most of these Harry Potter fandom business owners don't consider themselves to be entrepreneurs. When asked to describe their own role or title, 34 out of the 46 responded with some version of the title small business owner rather than entrepreneur. I find this surprising, not just because I think what they're doing is genuine entrepreneurship, but because the Harry Potter books contain a phenomenal example of entrepreneurship. The Weasley twins are a textbook example of entrepreneurs following the lean startup methodology. Founders are encouraged to investigate, experiment, and iterate as a fundamental part of the lean startup methodology. These investigation and experimentation stages are often referred to as bottom-up research. This process is critical for new ventures as it allows founders to develop a better understanding of the unmet need that they're solving. The Weasley twins do this exceptionally well. They themselves face the problem they're addressing as fans of practical jokes. They walk in the shoes of the average consumer by visiting joke shops themselves. And despite Hermione's frustration and annoyance, they test their products on Gryffindor house members. And then they iterate based on the results. The example of the Weasley twins provides an excellent learning opportunity. I teach entrepreneurship at Brown University, and when my students struggle to understand the importance of bottom-up research, I often recommend resources outside of the extremely stale and dry world of business literature. One of my favorite books to recommend is Steve Martin's autobiography, Born Standing Up, because it details his iterative experimentation process with comedy in a way that's really easy to digest and apply to startup ideas. I am happy to report that I can definitely add Harry Potter books 5 through 7 to this list because of the bottom-up research techniques displayed by the Weasley twins. Most fandom entrepreneurs follow a very similar bottom-up research path to that of the Weasley twins. They purchased products themselves, they observed their own community, and they tested their creative process. Every single business owner I surveyed, all 46 of them, gave products away to friends and family as a test before incorporating feedback into their final designs and selling their products. Many of the business owners, 18 of them to be precise, have even used Etsy itself as an experiment before opening more risky independent shops. The Weasley twins take another classic move from the Entrepreneur Handbook. They borrow money. The first money into a new business is often raised through what we call an FFF round, which stands for Family, Friends, and Fools. That is an actual business term. When Harry gives the twins his winnings from the Triwizard Tournament, he is essentially funding an FFF round. Amongst the businesses I surveyed, this was also relatively common. 25 of the 46 business owners, just over half, borrowed small amounts of money from friends or family to start or expand their stores. While Weasley's Wizard Wheezes experiences some turbulence during the series, mostly due to forces outside their control, we know from Cursed Child that George is ultimately able to turn it into a very successful business. It seems as if most businesses in the Harry Potter world are able to stay afloat, even if it is with just modest profits. This was also true of the businesses I surveyed. Every single one of the 46 businesses was profitable, and every single business owner reported that their Harry Potter-inspired business provided relief from financial stress. For 18 of the business owners, their Harry Potter-inspired business, is even their only job and their primary source of income. 3 of the business owners I surveyed have even attained the capital to hire and employ others. These financial results are impressive. In general, only 65% of all small businesses are profitable, but Harry Potter-inspired businesses seem to defy the odds. Some Harry Potter-inspired small businesses have even grown to become very sizable enterprises. The Cambridge Satchel Company was started by a woman who wanted to create the bags she imagined school children would use at Hogwarts. The company now sells more than 13 million pounds, or about 17 million USD, worth of goods annually. Whether it's big or small, it's clear that when fandom and creativity mix, the results can be quite impressive. As described earlier, all of the for-profit businesses within the series provide characters with utility, fun, or freedom. The fan-created businesses in our world fill similar roles by providing utility and fun to their patrons. They sell products and services that are useful, whimsical, and helpful for encouraging community connection amongst fans. Beyond this, these businesses also provide a remarkable amount of freedom to their founders. Much like tapping our favorite brick behind the Leaky Cauldron, Harry Potter-inspired businesses have acted as a portal, transporting many loyal fans to the magical world of financial relief and increased independence. Despite the oddities in both structure and function of Harry Potter businesses, the businesses run by fans still mirror those in the series. I think your average tech entrepreneur can learn something from the Harry Potter fandom and endeavor to build products they genuinely care about instead of chasing a paycheck or an exit. And perhaps the wider world can all gain a bit of courage from Harry Potter fans and confidently and simultaneously chase both dreams of financial freedom and their love of a fandom like Harry Potter. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.